Welcome to Message Reveal. Message Reveal identifies a vibe, a message, and a story told through lyrics of a song. So, today, before I welcome our special guest, I want to tell you a few things that's associated with her. So, as I had the opportunity to review her resume, normally that's not the process, but she is bad. When I say bad, she bad, bad. And I mean that in a really great way. So, before I introduce her, let me tell you just a few things that's associated with her. One, she's a native of Las Vegas. So we always give our natives the big up, big up. Not only a native, she's born and raised. Number two, she's a mom. And number three, she is, I always try to get this right, she's a talent acquisition manager. So we go into that, let me tell you a few places that she's actually worked for here in Vegas. Zappos. She also worked at the University Medical Center. We call it UMC. It's our trauma one place here. Anytime it's anything that's high trauma, it goes to this particular place. But I'm telling you all of these things for a reason. This woman is so amazing. She actually did some recruiting on her own without any body support, and she saved a particular company over 160K. Now, I know that's amazing just because I've been associated with like looking for talent, and it's a hard job. So, one last thing also, she works for Morehouse Medical Center, I think, or Morehouse. Let me get it correct. She works for Morehouse School of Medicine. That's what it is. I apologize. So, you guys, please give my sis a warm round of applause and welcome Sandrena
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I really am.
Lee. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for saying yes. I appreciate you more than you know.
My pleasure. It's an honor.
So, before we get started, I always ask my guests this particular question. Tell me something about you. What makes you tick? What makes you move?
um, it would just be my family. They motivate me to get up every day and to be my best, excel. So my family, my village, which includes, those who love me and support me. And if you're a close friend of mine, it's like family. So they are my why.
I like that. I love that. And I love you did touch on the village mentality. I'm a big believer of that. I would not have the opportunity to be in front of you if it wasn't for that village mentality. So I think people need to know more of what it is and not just talk about it, feel it. I had a young lady, we had a baby shower for her at work. And she got up and she got teary eyed. She said she always heard about the word village mentality, but she said until that very moment, she understood what it was and how to use it. So we got to continue to talk about it.
Yeah, it's nothing like it. And I wish more people had it.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a part of our living system. So with that being said, can you tell us a little bit about what you do? Because I mentioned it at the very
Yeah,
beginning, and
absolutely.
again, where you work at.
Absolutely. So I work at Morehouse School of Medicine. I'm very appreciative and honored to work for such an institution. I'm a talent acquisition manager there, so I oversee the process for hiring great talent to the institution. I've been doing this, 20 plus years. So just excited to, share my passion, my love with connecting institutions with people who have a passion for what they do. And Morehouse School of Medicine has an amazing mission to increase diversity in healthcare and for healthcare equity. So just honored to be a part of that. Uh, yeah, So
I
that's what
love
I.
that. I love that. I like that you say increase diversity in healthcare. A lot of times, not saying that you cannot be helped by a doctor that may not look exactly like you, but we know sometime having that diversity, you can tap in and really understand at a core level what the needs are, or can understand the background of those needs.
Absolutely. And studies show that it does improve the overall health of individuals. So it's so important. And, really just honored to be a part of such important work, really. But I will say that all the institutions and organizations that I've worked for in the past, many of them, the missions have resonated. As you say, I worked with UMC, it's a level one trauma hospital, it's the heart of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So, um, I have the privilege and honor to work in an industry where I really do feel like what we do makes a difference.
Absolutely. And if I can say this, I feel like you're the first initiator to identify who they are. Yes, they have to do their work, but it takes people like you. And I can be very honest. Before, I didn't even know it was a headhunter. I didn't know it was talent.
Mhm.
I just knew if you're interested in the job, you go apply and then you go through the process. So this has been a whole new process for me. I think in the last 10 to 15 years, I realized that you can be recruited, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I think some of the individuals will attest that sometimes you get the best opportunities when you have worked with someone who knows your goals, your passion, and ideally what you're looking for and how you want to fulfill um, your mission and your next opportunity. Because I feel like we're all here to serve. And aligning those things is kind of where the magic happens.
Wow. So do you think if someone say wanted to get in touch with you and say, hey, could you give me some points? Would you ever provide that kind of opportunity like, hey, I know you have this on your resume, but this may be antiquated or outdated, or you need to showcase this in order to pull in what you actually want to do?
Oh, absolutely. It's your resume, it does speak to who you are and what you've done. It tells a story, right? And so you want to make sure that you are owning that and really being able to project exactly why you made the choices to work, who you worked for, and why you want to look for your next opportunity. So it really is. And I know, no one really wants to do a resume, right? But I always tell individuals, always update your resume as soon as you start to work for a place, because that will really help you to um, stay abreast of actually what you're doing.
Mhm.
Sometimes we become so passive that we forget, all the projects, all the work that we're doing and how we're making an impact. So I always say if you can, make sure you're recording that information, and being cognizant of that, it'll be so helpful in the long term.
Well, I'm learning too because I'm thinking about some projects that I've worked on. And I'm like, wait a
Hmm.
minute, I spearhead this project. So maybe those are things that I need to document as well.
Absolutely. We all forget about those things that we're doing
Yes.
every day, right? That
Because
make
we're
an
in the
impact.
work.
Absolutely. You're, all in. And so sometimes you do need to take a step back and say, hey, I'm going to own my career. I'm going to tell my own story and make sure that I am communicating exactly what I want people to know.
I think that's amazing. And one last question on this particular subject. So, do you recommend if people want to promote themselves or get themselves out and about, do you recommend like LinkedIn, Instagram? What is your preferred method of identifying talent?
Well, headhunters use everything. So anything that you have that is accessible to the outside world, whether that be social media, LinkedIn is always a big resource as well. But that's not only limited to that. You also have your conferences that you've attended, your
Oh,
events that you've attended. So really you want to look at it as all encompassing. What are you doing in the community? That's another way of networking and obtaining information in terms of your career as well. So you want to look at it from a broad perspective and not really limit yourself to just those platforms.
nice. Okay. Well, listen, we're here to give somebody some information, including myself, because I'm learning as well. that, to think from a different perspective. We sometimes we have that tunnel vision, me included,
Hmm.
but when I have my guest on and they give me some, I'll go, oh, I didn't know that, I didn't think about that. So thank you for providing that deep wisdom and be able to give perspective on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. So we can get to this next part as we transition into me having a question for you, young lady. My
Absolutely.
question, I always ask my guests, please provide a song lyric that has either blessed you, given you distraction, or given you some perspective in life. But before we get started, there's rules to this.
Okay.
So if you can sing, my dear, you
Oh, Lord.
must sing your throw box out. If you
Woo!
can rap, you got to come hard in the paint. But if you cannot do either one, you have to say it with care and make it bold, make it meaningful. So, are you ready? Do you have a song in mind that can either bless, distract, or perspective?
Yeah. So I would have to say my go-to for being blessed and also gives me a different perspective, kind of puts things in order for me, would be Lettucey. Higher than this. The lyrics to that song just really resonate with me. I mean, it talks about knowing who you are and knowing who you came from, and really looking inside of yourself to understand, okay, I have everything I need to address whatever situation that comes my way. And she just has such a beautiful voice. Now, I don't know if you want me to sing that personally, me personally, but what I will say is made from perfection in the image of who I came from, who I am. And, that I always go back to. I have what I need inside of me. Um,
Yes.
I need to, maybe just be still, kind of reflect, um, accept what it is that's in front of me. Sometimes, we want that distraction, and I get it. I have plenty of distractions, but I think you do need to come. You do need to come to a point where you accept, and then know that you have what's in you to make it through.
No, I think you touched on the most important part, to accept who you are. Once you accept, I really believe the growth begins. Because if you're continuously trying to run away and dodge, you'll never really know who the core of who you are. So once you accept who you are, look, they say, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up
Yeah,
from here.
exactly. Really embracing that and knowing that it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
But knowing who I'm connected to and who I am, I'm going to get through this
that
and
part.
we're going to get to the other side.
Yes, yes, I love that. I love that because this wisdom is resonating with someone right now. So, have a question for you, my dear.
Yes.
So, as a child, you had the opportunity to select your first song. And what I mean, whether it was birthday money or you just had some money that your parents gave you, you made the selection on your own. Can you identify a song that you or a artist that you like? Okay, I had to have it because it was so dope in my eyes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I used to get my little pocket change from helping my grandmother clean house.
Okay, I like that.
That was my first real job, and so as soon as I had me some pocket change, I went to the store and I got crisscross. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to warm up because that's what I mean. Anyway, so I just thought at that age, I just knew I was gonna be a dancer, and yeah.
Wow.
So
I like that. I like that. Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to.
it was all about, at that time, it's hard for me to remember too many groups that were our age, that was really highlighted at that time.
Yes. Yes.
You had ABC, you had other groups, but I think Crisscross, that just did it for me. So
So how do you feel when, say, you're at the grocery store or you're out and about in the community and you hear that song? Do you pivot and stop and like start to
Oh,
dance?
I'm definitely gonna be like, what else? What playing that? But, I'm definitely gonna, and definitely, nod my head like, what? Who? How you know about that? Because I mean, it's one of those that's connected to good memories.
Yes.
Dancing with my friends when I was in middle school. So for me, it's just connected to good times.
I love that you said that because music have so many layers to it, and one of them, music is a time machine. And how you said
Yeah.
dancing with your friends, and you're thinking about that, like it has the ability to take you back to that moment. You go like, "Oh, I remember that." At least for me, and I've heard a lot of people, and I don't know if you can relate, but just by what you said to me,
Yes.
that was a time machine moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can know. I have my purple stereo, with my cassette, and I absolutely played it all the time. So yeah, that was my my
That's
first.
That's wonderful. So, we talked about it a little bit, but we all have our moments where we're struggling. It says in the Bible, I'm not a big Bible thumper, but it says the rain fall on the just and the
And the
unjust.
unjust, absolutely.
And with that being said, we all have our trials and tribulations, our ups and downs. Is there a particular song that you can share with my audience that when you were down, and what I mean by that, it was no one around and you had to depend on yourself, but a particular song just reached in and picked you up and you like, okay, I heard this, I feel so much better. Do you have a
Yeah,
particular song?
I have two if I can share.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So my first one would be "Even Angels" by Fantasia. Even angels learn how to fly, and I mean it's just such a beautiful song that reminds you that everyone had to start from a point of learning and trying and messing up, right? And so it's just I think that's so important in life because life can throw so many curveballs and setbacks and delays. Having that right perspective of, okay, I give myself grace, I give myself love, and I'm gonna learn how to fly. I'm gonna learn how to do this.
Yes, I love that.
So yeah, and I think at this point in time in my life, I'm all about how do I love myself more. Sometimes you get disappointed with yourself. Sometimes are frustrated you don't meet the mark of whatever it is. And so, or that goal, it's okay, how do I love myself to motivate myself? Everyone talks about, speak positive, but I really do feel like that has to come from a place of self love first.
Mm,
It's easier said than done, especially during trials or what have you. But if you
yes.
have a place in yourself where you're building on that platform of self love, then you have something to stand on.
Say that.
So that would be my first, and then my second is "Don't Worry About a Thing, 'Cause every little thing is gonna be all right." So mine would definitely have to be Bob Marley. I mean,
Oh,
I
that
can literally
is,
play that. The lyrics when he says, "Three little birds on my doorstep." It just tells you and tries to put everything in perspective, right? Like
yes.
it's gonna be okay.
I love that. You know what? When I get off, I'm gonna listen to that because it's true. No matter what, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be okay. And I think sometimes us worrying makes it worse. We can be concerned, we can evaluate it, but worrying, that's a whole nother process. So
Oh, that's the yes. I have come from a place where I'm an overthinker. Sometimes I overanalyze things, and I realize that worrying about it or being in a place of fear, it literally can affect your health,
girl,
um, and as well as your mental health. Like it is all encompassing if you allow that to kind of take over.
yes.
So it's that let's release it, whether that's through journaling, speaking about it, or whatever, and play you a song and try to say, okay, I can't. I release that. I can't,
Yes.
worry about it.
Yeah, no, definitely that. And I love, like you said, play a song. That's the whole purpose of this platform, is to identify the relationship we have with music. And it's not just one level, it's multiple levels, because you're going to tap into whatever songs that
Mm,
suit you at the time. But if nobody is
absolutely.
around, baby, you can pull a song out. I believe that everybody should have a theme song, because every once in a while, I'm Trina.
Right,
Mm,
right. You
mm,
need to,
I'm the baddest chick, and then I can
yes,
turn around. She say
yes.
something else, but the point is, everybody should have something that they can tap in when no one else is around.
Love that. I love that. And I wish I would have learned that lesson younger, when I was younger. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Knowing how to self motivate, knowing how to put myself in a different mindset,
yes,
right?
yes,
It's I have some strengths, but many of those strengths will tend to be I focus on things, but you can over analyze things and over worry about things. But when you do have a theme song, or you do have something that you can tap into to bring you out of that, it's
yes.
it's life changing.
It
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 really
truly
is.
it truly is on multiple levels. And I'm glad that, thank you for being transparent, because someone needs to hear, like, wow, I didn't know I can just tap into a song that can elevate my spirit. A song can also provide healing. It can
It's
also provide laughter. It can provide perspective. I
true.
can go on and on and on. And this is why this platform is here, to give many
I love
perspectives.
it. I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. So I love, since we're talking about high elevation and tapping into a song, I want to talk about crowd participation song. So when you see a crowd saying something together, like for example, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Everybody, like if you're in a restaurant, people turn around, it's like, yeah, happy birthday. And some of us that know the song will
Right.
participate. And then sometimes it's just people in the background and they're looking, but they're still like feeling that energy. Can you identify a song that has high energy and it's a crowd participation?
Yeah, so Electric Relaxation by Tribe Called Quest.
Oh,
Relax your girl, baby, that's free. Relax. I like them brown. I'm not gonna try and rap because I can't rap. But
you
anyway,
listen, you can do it. Don't stop yourself. We flow here.
yes, but I think when you hear that, it's just like yes, yes. Just, good music. It takes you back to a time literally where there was just so much good music, so much good
Yes.
music and good times. So it's just, yeah, to me, that definitely puts us in a whole different time frame. Energy is up. You just, that's the beauty of it. Everybody's on one accord,
There
right?
you go.
Listen, when you listen to music like that. So,
Yes. Yes. And did you have another one? Because you said did you say you had
um,
two?
yeah, it would be Before I Let Go by Frankie Beverly. I mean, just getting you a two step, everybody's going, you can't help but not move. But move on that song. You
Yes.
can't help but get out your chair. I mean, it's just it's like it pulls you, really.
Yes. No, that's a great one. It's funny. Probably from the beginning of my journey, the majority of the crowd participation songs has been that particular song. And I get it because it's cross
Yeah,
generational.
it
And once
is.
you hear it, like, you make me happy. Think
Yes,
about that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it just, and then when you want to move, and then we'll
yeah.
talk about Beyonce. She took it to the next level, right?
As only she can do, and it was bad, right? So
Yes,
you have kids who are making up new dances to it, so you can try to pop lock, if you got that, or you can hit your two step. So it's
yes.
just it's amazing what music and dance can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. So, yeah, shout out to Maze and shout out to Beyonce for, you
Absolutely.
know, uh jumping on that and taking it to the next level and really introducing it to the younger group, because they knew nothing about it and they thought Beyonce was the original person, and come to find out
Ooh,
a lot of them now know. They're like, oh, it was made. So I think people enjoy both versions.
Absolutely. And then what I say to that is that you haven't been to enough cookouts. If you if you ain't know that that was a remake, I gotta give you some side eye. Your family gotta get you out a little bit more. But yes,
Say
yeah,
that. That's a
yeah.
good one. She said you ain't been to enough cookouts, sis.
No,
That is very true because typically that is a staple. Whether it's a DJ or it's Uncle Bubba over there playing the
listen,
music.
listen. That's gonna be on everybody's playlist. Period. So yes, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And not just if I can say this about Beverly and Mays. I saw them back years ago in New
Mhm.
Orleans at the it wasn't now, it's the Mercedes. I can't think of what it was. It was I think it was the Superdome. And I tell you what, I was so amazed how everybody just on every word, everything. And I just felt like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I glided out of there and everybody became friends and everybody talked to everyone. It was during the Essence Festival back in the day, but it was so amazing. And I really want them to know they have the power of connection.
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. But anyway, I'll go on and on talking about Frankie Beverly and Mays. Real quick, they have "Look at California."
Yes.
Ooh, honey,
Look, listen, I'm like, now when I'm definitely gonna play all the songs today. So, so kind of take me back to
yes,
the time.
yes, that's what we do. So, do you have a shelf staple song? And what I mean by shelf staple song, like I don't care what, when, how, it never goes out of style. And you can use it whenever. Happy, you can use it when you're sad to lift you up. You can use it when you want to dance. Do you have a shelf staple song?
It is. And it's funny. I now use that to wake my son up sometimes. And it's As by Stevie Wonder. As the sunrise morning. I don't want to sing the whole
No,
thing because
sing it. Don't be shy.
just as hate no love secure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always. And I just think that that song um it's full circle for me. It, like I said, it reminds me that love is the reason why we are here. Love is what we have to give to ourselves first, right?
Yes.
And you talk about wanting to have the next generation. I am a believer of affirmations and saying and speaking things, but I think that song to me, it tells you what we're here for. It
Yes.
really does.
Yes.
And it just, he has a lyric that says that just as time knows to go on from the beginning, like it knows that, and we're here to love. We really are. And I know we get so far from it. And you can have just with your friends and family, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're here
Yes. I love that you keep touching on love because for some reason, somewhere, that part has been dismissed. And we know it is not cliche to say love makes the world go round. It really does. It really
It
does.
really is. And I don't mean it in a sense of, very superficial. I mean it in the sense of I'm here for you. I'm here to be honest with you. I'm here to be, I'm here to tell you the things that you don't want to hear sometimes because I love you, right?
Come on now.
Love, I think sometimes our definition of it is a bit skewed, but at the heart of it all is to make you a better person,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so love sometimes is not, all good feels, but if someone's loving you, they're still helping you to get where you need to be. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's just a song for me that it reminds me when I'm sad, when I'm happy. It gets me out of my bed,
Girl.
you
That
know,
part.
and it's my motivator. It really
Yes.
is.
I love that. And shout out to Stevie Wonder.
I mean, come on. I mean,
Listen, he is
yeah.
amazing when you can make a song about plants. Come on now.
I mean, just no words. I
Yeah.
mean, and to have music that transcend time, and there's so many amazing artists, but he is just one of mine. That his lyrics, it's just, whoo, you read them, you're like, wow,
Yes.
you reevaluate life. So,
Yes. I believe he was tapped in and he pulled whatever was in out.
mm,
And I think throughout time you can identify the ones like we're all tapped in, but I'm saying like really, really centered. And it's okay with displaying because sometimes we can tap in and be scared to display what has been revealed to us.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I can speak to that. Either you're centered in a place of fear, or you're, second guessing yourself. But again, it's, that point of looking internal, loving myself, starting with me,
Yes.
that I think I try to focus on.
Yes, I love that. I love that you keep saying over and over again, it starts with me because it always starts with you. So, thank you for saying that. Thank you for being transparent about that. Can you
Mhm.
tell me to this point, what is your biggest lesson you have learned in life?
Biggest lesson I've learned in life is to set boundaries. You
Mm,
know, I think we all have different perspectives and life events that bring us to where we're at. But what's so important, whether it's in your personal life, at work, with your kids, you have to set boundaries. You have to know what you can and what you're not going to deal with, right?
that part.
Um, because if I don't know it, then I can't communicate it to anybody else. And all relationships should be, reciprocal in some way. They may not be equal, but they're reciprocal in some way.
Yes,
And you have to really, again, start with you. I have to know myself. I have to know what I can and what I can't deal with,
yes, yes,
right? And it
yes.
kind of gives other people a playbook of how to interact with me.
Oh, absolutely. I always say you teach people how to treat you. For example, I always teach young ladies when I was married to my ex-husband and I was brought up old school and I learned from my mom when it was time to actually fix a plate, I would fix the plate and do what needed to be done. If he wanted more, or if my son, it was only my son at the time, wanted more, I would jump back up and I would make a, put some more on the plate. But what I soon realized that wasn't my boundary. So what I would do is give options. I'm happy to make another plate after I get through eating.
That
Because
part.
if you continue to do that years and years down the line, and later you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm forgetting about me. Sometimes the other people feel some type of way, even though you're letting them know this is what I need. So we have to speak those things that works for us and teach people how to treat us.
Absolutely. I wish I would have learned that earlier in life. And I've learned so much through books and through, family members. But my aunt always told me, you need to know what you can and you can't deal with. And I
That
was
part.
like, that stuck.
It's
Uh,
true. It's true. It's true. And we thank her for that wisdom. What's your aunt's name?
Absolutely. Yolanda Potter.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing woman. Yeah,
That, that's
amazing.
amazing. Whenever we have our women and men, so I'm a proponent of both. I believe in both.
Absolutely.
We definitely like to acknowledge them because um, I have Bishop Leo LaFleur. He always say life is a buffet, and he said if you put some of that on your plate, you need to be able to give thanks. You need to be able to give honor, and I do believe in that. So we
Agree.
definitely had to acknowledge her on that. Before we get out of here,
Mhm.
I just want to tell you thank you so much. Even through the pre show, why I'm saying thank you. So I appreciate you so very much just with taking the time and making sure you follow back up. I appreciate all of that. But with that being said, Can you share with our audience if anyone wants to get in touch with you or find out where you work and just whatever? Do you have any social media handles or anything you would like to
Absolutely.
share?
Absolutely. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn. You can always connect with me. And actually, send me an email. I am one of those people, I'm old school. I have also always kept my Gmail account, and it is Sandrena Lee at gmail.com. And that's SandrenaLee. You can also find me on Instagram as well.
And just so on LinkedIn, are you also under the same handle? What's your LinkedIn?
Same name,
Okay.
Sandrena. Yeah, absolutely. Everything is the same.
Okay. Marketing piece consistency. Yes. So I thought about this. You've been a single mother. If I may ask, how do you balance that act of being a single mother, being successful in what you do, but also making sure you pour into your son? How do you balance that?
I balance it through my village. Friends, loved ones. I have been blessed with an amazing family and an amazing set of friends too. I have friends that I've known since middle school and elementary school, and I think no matter if you know someone for a long time or not, you know, being able to just know people, let people know that you appreciate them, that you're honored to have them in your village. People, it's amazing what you can accomplish, resources for your kids, and godparents, and you have to tap into all of that really,
Yes.
because that's what makes you have balance. And it's trying to create balance. And I think sometimes you go so fast, you have so many things that you want to do, right? So much that you want to accomplish, but knowing you have people there to support you, and knowing you have people to tell you out of love, you need to sit down,
Oh,
right?
that
And
part.
so, it's really just trying to make sure you utilize those who love you.
Yes, I like that. I not just like that, I absolutely love that. So before we get out of here, I always say these few things. The journey is just as important as the destination. The journey is where we learn and where we grow, and the destination is where we celebrate. We all have to have a point of celebration. But when it's all over, we got to get back into that journey and we got to continue to move forward to learn. And I say all that to say before we get out of here, for my men, I usually salute them, but for my women, I bow. So I bow to you.
Oh, and
And
I
I
definitely do the
thank
same.
you so, so very much for saying yes and being on my platform. And before we get out of here, I try to give my guest the last word. Is there anything you would like to say?
I just want to say thank you. I think your platform is so important. And I'm praying that it reaches so many people, because I think it's needed and it's
Oh,
necessary. It's important. So thank you.
oh, I appreciate you. You guys, please put your hands together for Sandrena Lee. And
Thank
I
you.
call her Dina, but
Absolutely.
thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. God bless.
Bye.